Hey there everybody, welcome to my movie vlog. My name is Jon Campea and this is my quick review of the brand new Netflix series in the Marvel Universe, The Punisher. It's always difficult to do a review of an entire season of television because you don't want to give too much away and you don't want to go too much into it, but I'm just going to give you my quick thoughts. Punisher picks up after the events of Daredevil Season 2, and now we catch up with Frank just basically trying to figure out what does it mean to live life after you've got your vengeance. We catch up with Frank just living, trying to deal day to day with the pain and agony that he deals with, both over the loss of his family that haunts him every single moment of every single day, both when he's awake and when he's asleep, but also dealing with the trauma that he has as a vet, as somebody who has served in the military and all the baggage that he brought home with him. Then wouldn't you know it, he discovers that there are some other people out there who are actually responsible for the death of his wife and 2 children, and all you can say is, oh man, sucks to be them. Now Frank eventually crosses paths with this character David Lieberman. As it turns out, they have some mutual enemies, as Lieberman is on a quest of his own to reunite with his family. Intrigue, conspiracy, violence, cover-up, violence, late-night dining, and more violence then ensues, and there in a nutshell is Punisher. And what else can I really say except this season 1 of Punisher is bloody brilliant. I absolutely loved it. Now look, I've had a little bit of a strained relationship with the Marvel Netflix series for the last little while. I mean, first of all, you got Daredevil Season 1 and Daredevil Season 2, which are just both off the charts. They're so freaking good. But I've had a struggling relationship with these shows ever since. I'm one of the few people that I wasn't a big fan of Jessica Jones. Luke Cage, the first half of season 1 was really good. The second half of season 1, not so much. Iron Fist was just abysmal. I thought Defenders was pretty good, but I didn't know what to expect heading into Punisher. Would it be more along the lines of Daredevil season 2 or would it be more along the lines of Iron Fist? I'm happy to tell you it's more along the lines of Daredevil season 2. This show is brilliant. I remember just the first episode, and the first episode doesn't even delve at all into the overall story arc. It's just kind of setting up some character things as some other little situation comes across Frank's path that he has to deal with. And just that episode alone, I think episode 1 of The Punisher might have been one of my top 3 favorite episodes of television like all year. And then once you get beyond season 1, the episodes just keep getting better and better and better, and they get into the deep story. You get into the extra characters that are coming in, and you get to uncover the plot, and you get to see the bigger picture, and then more violence, and Frank getting more angry, and then shooting some more people, and it's just awesome. And I know I've already mentioned the violence a couple of times here, but I don't want to give you guys the false impression that Punisher is just all about the gore and violence and mindless action. Not at all. This is a terrific story, all held up and propelled by incredible characters being brought to life by great actors giving some of the best performances they've ever given. And you know, there are a couple of actors that we jokingly say were born to play their particular comic book characters, where they talk about Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man, or talking about Hugh Jackman playing Logan and Wolverine. I think you're going to have to start adding the name Jon Bernthal to playing Punisher. Now, I've always liked Jon Bernthal, but I didn't realize he was capable of giving us the type of character that he did with Punisher. Punisher, in the hands of another lesser talented actor, could just come across as this giant rage machine, right? But that is not what this Frank Castle is. So on the one hand, yes, he is the Punisher. He is anger and rage and vengeance. But at the same time, he's Frank Castle, broken, in pain, suffering, father of lost children, husband of a lost wife, and he brings all of that into this one character, knowing when to accentuate one aspect, the hurt or the pain, or another, the anger and the rage, and he does so with such great balance that you never get the feeling that he's a one or even a two-dimensional character. He's a full-fledged three-dimensional character who different aspects of the show bring out different aspects of his characteristics at different times in just the right way, and it really brings life to the role that elevates the show way beyond just being some mindless action comic book show or comic book flick, whatever. It is a character-driven show with a narrative that is worthy of it, that just delivers an incredible experience. That's just a long way of saying Jon Bernthal rocks in this show. Now, no show is perfect, so the one thing I would say about Punisher that stands out to me as maybe being one of the weaknesses of season 1 is the fact that, first of all, they have this great overarching kind of theme as a sub-theme in the show about, the trauma that vets face being off at war and then coming home from war. And that's a worthy thing to address. And we see that addressed through the Frank Castle character, but there's also other characters that deal with that as well. In the midst of all that, we have a character named Lewis Walcott, who himself is a vet, although he's young. He's like 26 years old, I believe, in the show. And he has done a tour of duty. He's come back and he doesn't know how to fit back into society. They spend a lot of time, especially like in the first 10 episodes of the season, on him and following him. And you understand why and where they're going with it. But it feels like every time they went to him, the show kind of slowed down. It felt like the brakes were being applied to the show whenever they went to him. And they went to him an awful lot. And actually, they went to him and focused on him far more than his payoff in the show ultimately really needed. And that's probably, to me, the biggest weakness of Punisher. And some movies and some television shows just end their movie or seasons as nothing but setups for the next sequel or the next season of television. Punisher Season 1 does not do that. The ending of this season is so satisfying on two levels. One, on a visceral level, because when the way the show ends, you're like, yeah, you kind of got that real satisfaction as a viewer, yeah. But also, it's incredibly emotionally satisfying. I'm going to tell you this, don't tell anybody else or I will deny it. I nearly cried. I'm not kidding. I had tears welling up in my eyes, and I think my bottom lip was trembling a little bit. There's this incredible scene near the end of season one, with a particular family that I almost wept. If you've watched the show already, you know exactly the scene I'm talking about, and it worked for me on a level that I didn't think it would. And I knew the scene was coming, and then the scene comes, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm starting to feel like really emotional. If you have not done so, I give binge watching Punisher my highest recommendation. Find a day or two that you can just clear some stuff off your schedule, sit down for 13 straight hours and watch this puppy. You'll be glad that you did. So what do you think, guys? Have you had a chance to watch Punisher so far? If so, what did you think about it? Do you think it was as good as I did? Do you think maybe had a few more weaknesses? Jump into the comments section below and leave me your thoughts. And listen, while you guys are here, take a second, subscribe to my YouTube channel, keep up to date on all my videos, click that thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and make sure you're following me on social media, simply on Twitter at Jon Campea. That'll do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and until the next video, bye-bye.